Oh, my camera isn't on. I'm probably throwing here. My camera and my light wasn't on. What even is that? Let me turn my light on. I gotta reach down under here. Switch that. Okay, perfect. Now my light's on. Wow. Okay. Welcome to Switchtoberfest. Hard throw, TBH. Yeah, basically. Pro streamer, by the way. Switchtoberfest. My name is NPC. I got a lot of Switch games to play, and I'm going through them alphabetically. Tonight is R for Return of the Obra Dinn. Obra Dinn is, at its core, a detective story. It's a very interesting game because it's got this very like monochrome pixel art style to it. Created to emulate the old Macintosh style of the old Apple IIe kind of thing, like the old original Mac, not the Apple II, but the Apple, right? And you can actually go in and change it to be Macintosh or the IBM or a Zenith even, right? Commodore 1084. Like there's a bunch of options, or the black and white LCD if you want to go like a super monochrome, something like a Paperwhite. I'm probably gonna stick with the basic, and then there's a smooth type, there's a sharp type, which is kind of framed a little bit, and then there's shrink 1, which makes it really, really small. But I'm gonna stick with smooth. I'm gonna stick with kind of the default. But you know, it's got this very interesting art style, and it's basically, from what I understand, you are an insurance investigator, and a ship has returned to land, and everybody's dead. They're all missing, basically. And you have to figure out what happened to them. So you go through and you detect. And so when you come across a corpse, you have a magic pocket watch, a little stopwatch. And when you come across a corpse, you press the button, and it basically takes you in time to the moment of that person's death. And it freezes time, and you get to see the exact instant that they died. And you get to hear a little bit of dialogue about things that happened beforehand. And you kind of have to establish who's who, right? So basically there are 60 people on board, and you have to establish who are they and how did they die. It's just those two questions. This person, right? So this guy shot by this guy, or this guy committed suicide, or this guy got eaten by a whale, whatever the case may be. So basically that's the way to play the game. But it's supposedly a lot more interesting than that. It's not like your standard detective story like Ace Attorney or like the Sherlock Holmes games or something like that, or you know, was it Hollywood Noir or something like that? It's not that, because those you there's only so many objects you can pick up. Right, and each object you can pick up has some sort of significance, and you have to inspect it. It has a clue, and then when you go to talk to somebody, there's only like 2 or 3 options for dialogue, and each one of them will lead you to a clue. In this one, there aren't multiple choice options. You actually have to sit there and discover for yourself, and each and every person in the crew has multiple ways that they could have died. Apparently, it's just more complicated. I'm just gonna say that it's more complicated. You have to sit there and think for yourself. Plus, the game doesn't actually tell you whether you were right or wrong until you've gotten 3 of them. You have to get 3 of them correct in order for it to say, okay, you got these 3. So let's go over here and let's hit begin. No fate solved. Okay, so we're gonna find out how many fates. Lost at sea, 1803. The good ship Obra Dinn. Built 1796, London, 800 tons, 18-foot draught. Captain R. Witterell, crew of 51 men. Last voyage to the Orient Cape Rendezvous. Contact East India, London office. Okay. So, Chief Inspector, Insurance Claims, London office. Obra Dinn has returned. Dispatch to Falmouth immediately and prepare a full assessment. Falmouth, England. Ooh.
Company man woke me up.
Sound.
Said you'd need ferry to the Obra Dinn.
I like it. The sound is good.
Not many eager for that job. Seems a bit late if you ask.
I didn't.
What up, Phantom? Where?
What's in the box?
I don't know.
Am I a
Supposed to
woman?
talk in a few minutes.
Hey! Ow!
Carefully.
I don't know. Wow. Look at this. Ooh. Whoa, look at the graphics here. Okay, this is the Obra Dinn, so we can interact with that. Wow. This is a lot better looking than I thought it would be. Like, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but it's actually a lot better looking than I thought. Okay, so this is the Obra Dinn. So this guy ferried me out here. And now I have to kind of figure out what's going on. Oh, look, it's a corpse. I don't have anything I can... Ooh, I can zoom a little bit. So I can zoom a little bit. Alright, I can zoom. Let's get up here on deck. There's not a lot going on here. Okay, so quarters here.
Oi!
What?
It's too heavy!
Oh. He won't... He's not going to hoist up my box. I told you to hoist it. Where is he? Fine, we're going back down. The storytelling here is surprisingly good.
It's too heavy.
Yeah.
Take it yourself or open it here.
Okay. I guess we open it. What's inside? My logbook? Okay, I also have a handy-dandy notebook. Okay. Return of the Obra Dinn, a catalog of adventure and tragedy. I trust that you now find yourself aboard the Obra Dinn. I expected this day to come, and my every intention was to tell you the ship's strange tale within the pages of this book. Regrettably, failing health has allowed me to produce only the basic outline as follows. Your presence on the Obra Dinn is critical. I leave the discovery of its fate and the completion of this book in your hands. The next few pages will seem bewildering at first, but all will make sense in time. Use the pocket watch to determine the identity and fate of everyone on board, and complete each chapter accurately and return the book by guaranteed post to the French Office Affairs of Morocco. The bargain chapter will remain unknown to you. Possess details within, but have elected to keep them private for now. The journey, the ship, the crew, life at sea. Glossary, back cover. Chapters, loose cargo. Oh, wait. The journey. Okay, so that's kind of where they were supposed to go. The ship, the deck plan, so I can actually, like, investigate. This is where I am? Oh, cool. So this is like the ship's layout. I can actually investigate the journey. This is where we are now. Can we get off this page? We can go down here. Okay, so we were supposed to come all the way around the front of the dotted line, so that's where we were supposed to be. Crew. So this is our people. So this tells us our fate. So Robert Witterell, Captain, England. Hoscut, first mate, Scotland. So if they have British accent, they're from England. If they have a Scottish accent, they're from Scotland, Austria. So everybody has different accents too. Okay, that's cool. Bosun, bosun's mate, surgeon, surgeon's mate. Okay, so I gotta figure out who these people are, what their jobs are, and then what their fates are. Okay, 60th. Sketches of life aboard the Obra Dinn. Oh, so look at their faces. They're kind of blurred a little bit, but like I can kind of tell who they are. So if I find a picture of them, I can be like, oh yeah, okay, of course it's this guy. So this is underway. Loose cargo, part 1. On the cargo deck. Bitter cold. So there's a circled thing here. I guess that means that I have yet to do it. Okay. How do I skim through the entire book first? Okay, sure. A bitter cold. On the Orlop deck. So it tells me kind of where to start. Murder. outside the first mate's window. So I have to start each chapter at the place. The calling. These are getting longer. Unholy captives. 50 pages. On the cargo deck. Soldiers of the Sea. We're at 60 pages now. Almost 70 pages. Okay, that was only one page. I like this one. Part 7. The Doom. Oh, geez. I can just hold this down and get all the way to the end. In the Lazaret. Escape. In the midshipman cabin. Okay. The end. Inside the captain's quarters. And then, okay, we have glossary. Captain, head officer, command of the ship. Okay. So we've got a thing. X is to close and open the book. And Y is table of contents. And there's a skull on the back page. Okay. X will always close or open this book. And this must be the pocket watch he was talking about. Memento mortem. Remember death. Sounds like a Harry Potter spell to me. It's weird that he would keep these 2 light items in such a heavy chest. But okay. Alright, so now I've got the book and the pocket watch. So let's go back to that corpse we just found. So remember, we found a corpse here with flies on it, which is very cool. I love the little flies. So here's the stopwatch. Okay, so this takes us back in time with this corpse.
Captain! Open the door! Kick it in. Lest we break it down and take more than those shells!
Wait, what?
You bastards may take exactly what I give you!
Oh! This was the moment of his death. And that's him. Okay, this is the guy. He died. Okay. He got shot through. And wow, this is super cool. Like, I'm controlling this. Like, I'm controlling the angle here. So this is the guy that was going to open the door. And this is the guy who said, kick it in. So I remember this guy from the picture. I'm not sure about this guy. But this guy must be the captain. Okay. So he's kind of in the way. He won't let me go. It won't let me go into the room. But I can tell now that this guy was shot by the captain. Okay. I don't know who he is. But I know that he was shot. Okay, so it only let me investigate for a few moments. I could probably go back in. Okay. So here's the book. What do I know about this scene here? Oh, cool. This is the end. Here's the pistol. Outside the captain's quarters. Okay, location of the corpse. We know that. We know this guy. Who is this and how did they die? So we have a little picture of him. And we have this guy who said captain. 3 others were present. 3 others. This unknown soul was shot by a gun by the captain. Okay, so that's all we know so far. Captain, open the door, kick it in, lest we break it down and take more than those shells. You bastards may take exactly what I give you. So the X is next to the lines of dialogue. Shot, gun, arbitral. Who is that guy? Unknown. 1 memory. Okay. So it shows us his picture in that, like, portrait. In, like, one of those pictures. Oh, and who is this guy? Unknown. 1 memory. So he also exists in that memory somewhere, but I didn't see him. Oh, okay, this is the captain. This is definitely... This person's face is no longer blurred, which means they can now be identified. Use the book and the pocket watch to gather enough information to deduce their identity. Revisit memories on the ship Using the pocket watch to study relationships, appearances, and activities. Use the book maps, crew manifest, and artistic sketches 2 through 4, along with the individual conversation logos to find clues about them. There were 60 people on the ship when it left England. Determining everyone's fate will not be easy. Decisive information is rare. You'll need to make assumptions using partial information. Some identities may only be revealed through a process of elimination. Good luck. Okay. So this guy is the captain. Okay. And he exists in one memory. Memories where this person can be navigated from here. First memory, 126. Show memories, deck map, just a sketch. Bookmark memories. Bookmark memories, they appear for quicker navigation. Okay. Okay, captain. So who is this guy? Still don't know. Show memories on deck map are depicted in Justice at Sea sketch. So this is the Justice at Sea. Oh, they're shooting someone. Justice at Sea. So there's somebody who tried to mutiny here. This is Captain, right? This guy is the guy who died. We don't know who he is, but we know that he was shot. And then we have this guy here. Okay. Location of the corpse right here. And this is where I am at the moment. Okay. Let's go back to the deck. Let's see what we've got. Oh. We're back here again. Okay. So what else do we know? We know the captain shot our mystery guy. We know that he was with this guy when he died. And that's basically all we can tell, right? Because there's nobody else around. And we can't go any further. Dimthar, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for that subscription. Oh, there's a guy up here. Look. Look at this guy with a knife in his mouth. It's a new guy. Well, since you're here, since you got that subscription, we got to give Harley a treat, right? That's what we got to do. Boobits. Boobits. Yeah, with bat shapes and ghost shapes and Harley. Do you need a bark, or do you want to come in here for a treat? Bed. Anyway, Dimthar, I've been meaning to reach out to you. Am I going to see you, you and your daughter this weekend at Grapevine Mills Mall? On Saturday, I'm having a little Widowmaker tournament. There's plenty of prizes all the way down to 8th place. So even if you're terrible at Widowmaker, you can still play and win. So that'll be fun. I hope to see you there. We have other stuff to give away. I'm actually going down to NV headquarters tomorrow to maybe get some more stuff. So that'll be fun. But anyway, it's the Belong Gaming Arena in Grapevine Mills. I'm going to have gaming PCs there you can play on for free. I'm going to have all sorts of good stuff. You know, just come on in, talk, hang out, whatever. You know, take your daughter around the mall, do some stuff. So I hope to see you there. We should have a good time. All right, so there's this guy as well. This guy's bald here, and he's got a knife, and he's coming up here for something. So there are 3 others present. So earlier, difficult. Oh, homecoming night. Oh, I see. Well, it's from noon to 4. So if you find yourself in the middle of the day and want to do some other stuff, that's fine too. But I get it. Yeah, homecoming dance is a pretty big deal. See what we can do. All right. Well, I hope to see you. So we also have a third guy. We have this guy, and we have the third guy. But this guy's wearing the hat. The other guy is not, but he doesn't exist anywhere. Let's go take a look at this guy and see if we can pull him up in the book. We have a gun. This exists here on the map, so apparently he deviated from the plan. And he died last, almost. Wife would love going to the mall. Yes. It's fun times. I've actually been to that mall, like, I'd say like 5 times in the past couple of weeks, like working with the Belong guys, like going down there and checking it out. I was there before they opened. Like I went in during construction and kind of checked things out. And then, like, I came back a couple of days before they opened because they were supposed to open 2 weeks ago on the 8th. And they couldn't do it because they had internet problems and stuff like that. So, So this guy exists. Well, actually, wait. Can I go in that door? Or does that take me out of this little area here? Let me go to the beginning of this book. And let's see if we can find this bald guy in a picture. Well, there's a lot of bald guys, I think, in these pictures. Justice at Sea, right? So this is the one. So there's this guy, this guy, this guy. There's a bunch of guys, but none of them really can. There he is. That's him. His picture is clear because we've seen him before. But he's got 2 triangles, which means he's still probably missing quite a bit of information. But now we know where he is on that picture. All right, so let's go through the door, which might take us back to a regular area. So I've never played Return to the Obra Dinn before, but I really like it. I really enjoy this. So we know who this guy was. He yelled something at the captain, and the captain just blew him away. I would think he might be the first mate, right? Like, that makes sense. This is maybe the captain, but let's check him out. Let's see what his fate is here.
Where are they?
Where are they?
Must be in here someplace.
We're looking for something he has.
They're at the bottom of the sea.
A lie.
This is a game called Return of the Obra Dinn. It's a detective story. So I have to figure out, basically, the only 2 questions that I'm ever asking is, who is this person and how did they die? So this is the captain, okay? This guy was with our friend, I think, with our first mate. Yep, he's still dead. So he was the guy standing next to our guy. This guy tried to break into the captain's office. We heard, so basically we have a stopwatch, and every time we come across a corpse, we can use that stopwatch to go back in time and see what happened here. So we know that this is after that. The captain shot this guy, but this guy, we don't exactly know who he is. Well, okay, it's taking us to the book. It gave us a few minutes to look around, and now it's taking us to the book. So now it's going to bring us to the page for this guy. So here he is, inside the captain's quarters. Location of the corpse. Who is this, and how did they die? So we know that he was knifed by the captain. I mean, it doesn't... Yeah, knifed. Looks like. I mean, kinda, right? Where are they? They must be in here someplace. They're at the bottom of the sea. That's a lie. 2 others were present. Okay. And this guy who's actually dead out in the hallway. And that guy. Again. So this guy, 2 memories, right? He's the guy up top. First memory 126, depicted in underway sketch. Show memories on deck map. So I'm here, and this is memory 1 and memory 2. Okay. So what do we know here? We have the captain knifing this guy in the throat because he's attacking him with a spear. We're looking for something because he's like, where are they? Look at this guy. Oh! So remember, this guy was going across the top before. Oh, see, that's his picture. That's him in the page. So we zoomed in a little bit, and basically what it does is it says, okay, this is the guy here. So we know that he was coming around the top to get to the captain's quarters. Here's the gun. And is there a way to, like... No. Okay. I can't open any doors or anything while I'm in this, like, memory mode. But see, this is that guy. Okay, we know who that is. And this guy, he came around here. And he climbed over all this to get down there. So that's why he's over there. So remember, we did see 2 other people are present. So this guy's dead, but it's the captain and this guy. We can zoom in on the captain and make sure that we got him perfectly. Yeah, that's him. And then we can get this guy who's down here with a gun. So this is called Justice at Sea, where they're shooting a man who's already being hanged off the plank. And then, of course, this guy, who's kind of creeping around the back. We still don't know anything about this guy yet. But what we know is that this guy's the captain who knifed this guy in the throat. Okay. All right, so let's exit. Let's exit, because that's all we know so far. We still haven't identified really anybody. I'm not certain on anybody just yet. Now, there is another dead body over here. Right? Out by this window. Remember, there was the guy coming down. So this is either the captain or that guy that was outside. That doesn't sound good. Okay. Whoa! The captain turns around and nails that guy in the head with a bat. Okay, so our captain has been stabbed in the side and is hitting this guy in the head with a bat. So what we know about this guy is that he's been bludgeoned, hit on the head with a stick by the captain. All right, so this guy's dead, right? He was knifed. The captain was stabbed here, but hit this guy. So the captain is technically still alive, just bleeding to death. So let's go to the... So this guy was... Yeah, that guy. Okay, just want to make sure. Just want to make sure the graphics in here aren't quite the best. So it's a little difficult. Now, does it take us to the book, or do we have to actually go to the book this time? I think it's taking us to the book. Okay, perfect. A harpoon? It might be a harpoon handle. It might be. Okay, so let's move forward. Inside the captain's quarters. Location of the corpse. Who is this? How did they die? So we still don't know who this guy is, but we know that he was clubbed. Is there not another eaten? Oh my god, there's eaten, struck. Hooves, tail, wing? No. Suicide, speared, shot. I guess clubbed by the captain. Okay. We still don't know his name. And one other person was present. The captain. I guess the captain counts. Okay. So we're filling in clues as we get them here. I'll wander around and see if I can find anybody else during this, like, freeze. 4.5 minutes left. Also, this looks neat. What do you have 4.5 minutes left for? This is incredibly neat. This is way better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, the low resolution graphics really don't do it justice, because seeing it here looks fantastic. And I can't wait to... I'm actually thinking about maybe playing this on the OLED, right? Like, it's... You know, like, just the brightness of the... Oh, there's a corpse here. All right, so let's investigate this corpse. Let's find out whose corpse this is. The Razor Zephyr. It is very interesting to look at. Abigail.
Your brother. My friend.
Uh-huh.
I shot him.
Shot him. Okay.
Dead. I'll be with you soon, my love. Please forgive me for everything.
He shoots himself. So this is the captain. He regrets... Oh, Abigail, she's dead. I can't zoom in on her. But I can't zoom in on the captain either. Okay, so the captain, see the pool of blood here where he got stabbed? He came over in here, he talked to Abigail, and he shot himself in the chest. Okay, so far, what we know from this story, this is great, it's piecing it together. This guy was her brother, his friend, who he shot dead. This guy was with him, came in, tried to attack him, got his throat slit, and then this guy came in and tried to attack from above, and ended up getting clobbered in the head with a stick. So, now that we know all that, let's take a look. Abigail, probably the captain's wife, or girlfriend. She was in his cabin, in bed dead. So, this is Captain, and he... Suicide is an option. Suicide by gun. He shot himself. This may or may not be correct. So it won't tell me until I have 3 answers. Then when I have then when I have 3, yes, fates are validating sets of 3. So as soon as I get 2 more, it'll tell me if all 3 are correct. At least 3 people in their fates to have the information types into the book. Okay. Now, Abigail. Your brother, my friend, I shot him. So, no one else was present. He was all alone. Just this guy. Okay, suicide gun. So we know who he is, and we kind of assume why he died. Now, what we can do is we can go back to the crew manifest at the very beginning. Got to be a faster way. Let's take a look here. Here's the crew manifest. Okay. Witterell. Captain. Suicide gun. William Hoscut, first mate. That's who I assume it was because of his accent from Scotland. But we'll see. So what we're looking for is Witterell, right? We're looking for a passenger, probably. So let's take a look here. Passenger, Lynn, Jackson, Pasqua. Abigail, Hoscut, Witterell. Okay, so we know that Abigail, Witterell, captain's wife, passenger, from Scotland. Her middle name is Hoscut. The first mate, his name was Hoscut, and also from Scotland. So that tells me that, well, who is William Hoscut? He is not in this picture. This is underway. Oh, he's down here. He's this one, because this is the captain, so he's this one. William Hoscut, first mate, shot by a gun by the captain. Okay? We know that. So we have 2 that we can assume. All right? So we've assumed 2 things. We've assumed 2. Okay? Now, this is her, so we're going to come back in here and we're going to investigate her, but we need to go back through the door. The door, I guess, is always in the same place for now. Okay, this is also the end of the chapter. This is the end. This is after everybody's dead. Like, the captain was the last one alive, probably. See? The end. There are 4 X's. Which means there are 4 dead bodies. Or 4 people died in this scenario. Okay. But what about her? Let's take a look at Abigail. Because we know her body was here, but we couldn't zoom in on her before. But now that she's a dead body. Okay. Abigail was crushed by an octopus. A giant squid. has attacked the boat, grabbed a wood here and crushed her. This guy, this guy is there. Okay. This is Abigail, and she is here. Okay, she's one of the dancing ladies at the top. This guy here. Okay, his hat. And this guy, he's one of the bald guys at the bottom. And okay, that's too far. Oh, there's two more guys. This guy's been cut in half. He's got the tattoos. Okay, he's the Queequeg. And this guy, he's the guy with the knife. No, let me go back to investigate. Okay. All right, so here's what I know. Here's what I know. That guy, the bald guy that I got to see at the very end with the beard, he was the guy with the knife in my room. In the captain's room. I didn't say my room. The captain's room. Okay. Inside the captain's quarters. This is Abigail. Okay. So we know that this is Abigail. And she was crushed by a beast. Well done. 3 fates correct. So we got the captain. Okay. We got Abigail. We got the first mate that was shot by the captain, and we got the captain. Oh, and 3 lines appear on that thing at the end. Awesome. Okay. Their site crashed. Oh, I figured it would. There's lots of bots, man. You're competing against bots. You're not gonna make it, man. I mean, maybe, but I doubt it. Okay. So here we are. This guy is here. Okay. Who's this guy? In the picture too. This lady was dancing with Abigail. And who's the other lady? She was dancing in front of Abigail. Okay. It probably won't let me go action. What is the action? What is... It's doing something. What is the action exactly? Is it supposed to highlight something? It looks like it's highlighting this guy. Guy with the tattoos. Oh, I see. I see. So I can go... I'm inceptioning it. I'm going within the thing. I don't get it. I can't. Oh. Oh. Okay. I see. It's taking me over here to here. Oh, cool. Okay. Cool. So it kind of took me out, sort of, but then created a body for me to investigate. So here's the guy who got cut in half. Oh. Okay, let's take a look here. He was ripped in half by a beast, right? This guy's trying to help. This guy's not helping. Okay, he's on the ship. This guy with the conductor hat, he's also on the ship. Okay, he's throwing something. Okay, he's throwing a gun to the other guy. Yeah, he's throwing a gun to this guy. There's a crate with an animal in it that we don't get to see. And this guy is shooting at the beast. Okay, this is our... Okay, so we've got several different guys here, and they're all shooting at this beast. There's another couple of guys, like, way out there. Look at those guys. We can't actually zoom in on them. All right. So, now, what have we got? Location of the corpse. The man on deck. Who is he, and how did they die? So, we've got him. He was... torn apart by beast. Terrible beast. Okay, that's all we know. And it tells us that 12 other people were present. Wow, look at this guy. Okay, so this guy was clubbed by the captain. This guy, nothing. This guy, nothing. So you see, if their pictures are blurry, we can't really identify him. It's not going to tell us. But if their pictures are clear, we know that he probably can be identified with some of the information that we have. Right? So we're getting close. We're getting close. Let's take action. This guy. Okay. So now this guy's dead on the ground, so let's take a look at him. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the present day, but then find his corpse. It's going to take us to where his corpse lay, which should be like right over here on the deck. Yeah? Why are you like... Okay, there it is. So now we have this guy's corpse. Okay. And this guy, this is super intriguing, actually. Like, okay. He was blown up. Oh, man. Somebody threw powder and it blew him up. Okay, so he was blown up by this guy by accident, right? Because they were trying to destroy the beast. Or maybe he didn't throw the powder. Maybe he was tied down. That's what this rope is. He tied it to himself. And then thought, okay, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to throw powder at this beast. This guy is falling down the stairs with the muskets. And the guy behind him is the guy who was throwing him a musket. And here's our guy that got cut in half. But he's still alive now because this is just before. This is before Abigail came up on deck asking to see the captain. Okay, we've got some more information. This is good. Alright. Let's take a look. Location of that corpse is here. Who is this and how did they die? Well, his picture is blurry, but we know that he was exploded. Blasted by an explosion. That's just about as good as we got. Get to the main bit quick. Hold on. Throw it. Throw the powder. The other people present were these guys and our funny hat guy. Okay. And then these two. This guy who was also torn apart by the beast. Okay. So this was our guy torn apart. This was our guy with the rifles. Who's that guy? Okay, he's the guy with the tricorn hat. Okay. So I love how the ship is slanted because, you know, obviously there's a... And here's the doorway. All right, so we've made a lot of connections. There's a lot of people here to investigate. This guy was torn apart. That guy was blown up. This guy was shot by the captain. Let's kind of move around up here. So we got all that by starting with Abigail. But we also know that there were people downstairs. So let's head downstairs because this is where the rifle guys came from. Remember? They came from down here. Which means that maybe there's somebody else down here too. No body just yet. There's a guy crushed by a cannon, looks like. So let's check out this guy's fate. See if maybe it sheds a clue on.
Sir, loose cannon!
Okay. So this guy was crushed by a loose cannon. This guy is the guy hanging. No, okay, he's watching. Okay, he's not the guy that we hanged earlier. This guy's the guy with the tricorn hat who had the muskets. This is the other guy, right? He's right here. He just hit this guy? Weird. In the top hat? Okay. So there's not much back here. So we've got top hat guy. The other guy. Ooh, okay. So here we are. Basically the same thing. So here's this dude. A little bit different. And then this guy, who is also here. So we haven't seen these people before. But all we know is a gunner, maybe. So what do we know about him? Gunner? So who is this and how did they die? So we know this guy was crushed by a cannon. His face is blurry, so we definitely don't have enough information, but there were other people present. So there was this guy crushed by a cannon. This guy, who we're not quite sure. This guy exploded. This guy, not sure. This guy, also not sure. So we know that their faces are blurry in our picture, so we know we can't quite identify them. Now, we could go back to the beginning. Thank you, Dimthar, for reminding me about the positions on the ship. So let's go take a look at the ship manifest. We have carpenters, cook, gunner. Gunner from Austria. From Austria. He's gunner and gunner's mate. The gunner's mate is from Poland. Okay. All right, so let's go back and listen to that. Let's go back and listen to that dialogue. Let's go back and listen to that dialogue about the Doom. Okay, hold on. Let's find on the bow. We haven't been to the bow of the ship yet. Let's listen to the dialogue and see if we get some accents. We can't watch the memory? Yeah. Perished in the Doom. But how do I... Oh. Oh, no. No. Okay, I couldn't redo this memory. And it's gonna actually want to show me another corpse that I can investigate. So it's possible he's the gunner or the gunner's mate, but I'd have to go back and listen to the story again. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna find his corpse somewhere. Have to follow. Here it is. Right where we left it. Okay. And then we investigate it. Like we normally would. Takes us back to... Inceptioning, right? We're dream within a dreaming. Okay. So we know he was killed by an explosion. An exploding cannon. Wow, look at that thing. And it comes over here, and it crushes this guy. Okay. And it crushes this guy. And our guy that got torn in half. Okay, trying to load a cannon to fight the beast. Okay. So. Okay, this is the top hat guy. So, let's take a look. Open the book while examining the face. Flip directly to the sketch. Ah, unknown. We don't know who this guy is. Okay, what is it, Harley? So now it's going to go to the book and it's going to create a page for that guy. Top hat guy. Who is this and how did he die? Oh, there's two of them here. Top hat guy was also crushed by the cannon. Okay, and this guy, let's check out his memory. How do we view the memory again? Can we? So it's not this guy, because this guy's... that one. Oh, here he is. Okay, I didn't see it. He's also crushed by a cannon, apparently. Right. Let's follow the smoke trail. It's probably just gonna take us back to exactly where we were. Wait, what? It went down further. How do I go down there? More bones. Found more bones. Okay. That doesn't sound good. Okay, yeah, I was about to say this sounds so this guy, ES. He's the guy who drew the drawing, and he was pooping. Oh my gosh, he was pooping. He had his pants down. Oh my gosh. Okay. So he was like hanging off the edge of the ship trying to take a poop. And this thing got him. This guy, he saw it happen. TOS, I know, right? And then these two guys were... okay, these two guys are friends. There's a Chinese guy and this guy. So these I guess they're both Chinese guys. They're probably passengers. See, because yeah. And this guy. Okay. Okay. Wait. So let's figure this out. We're trying to figure this out here. So ES. So this guy is, his initials are ES, and he drew the drawing. So he was crushed by the beast. But let's go to... let's go here, and we're going to look for an EES. Possibly an artist. Edward Spratt. England. ES. Edward Spratt, artist, crushed by terrible beast. Okay, so we know that now. Okay. Where's the next dead body? Keep thinking it's over here somewhere. There's a hammock. A hammock that probably has some sort of tag on it. Can't quite see it yet. It's over here. What's upstairs? There he is. Okay, so this guy is face down. We have to listen. We have to find his body. So we know he's upstairs, right? Like, why are we even... Okay. Yep, okay. So this is where he died. All right, let's figure out what happened to this guy.
Let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody Dane.
He's Danish.
How's that?
There's no cause for trouble, boys. Get in the boat.
Thought I'd forget. You killed my brother.
Danish guy
That was
killed
an
his
accident.
brother.
The ropes.
It wasn't his fault. I saw the whole thing.
Lies. I shouldn't have waited so long.
No, don't.
Okay. So he didn't... Okay. So he got struck by this guy. Okay, this guy here in the wife beater. He's this guy by the other hat guy. This guy's... They're trying to get into a lifeboat and escape. This guy... hangs out back there. He's got, like, papers that are probably, like, important to him and him only. Okay, so they're on the deck, and it looks like they're trying to get into the boat, and this guy won't let him. He's like, no, you killed my brother. And he's like, it was an accident. He's like, I saw the whole thing. So this guy is Danish. Okay? And killed someone with ropes before this happened. So we're working backwards, very Memento style. So... who is this and how did he die? Okay, so his picture is pretty clear, which means we should be able to at least identify him. So the two brothers have the same last name. Right. Well, we don't know. We need to find the identity of one of them at the very least. So we need to find the one that was killed by the ropes, and then we identify him, and then we can identify his brother. So let's take a look here for somebody that is Danish. Something like that. Lars. Is not in this picture. He's... no, these are the Chinese guys. Oh, that guy. I almost forgot about him. So he's not... I thought he was in this picture. Where is he in his little wife beater shirt? Or is that the guy who killed him? Let's get back to the Doom, part 1. Ah, this guy is Lars. From Denmark. Okay. And he was clubbed by an unknown attacker at the moment. Okay? So that's him. Let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody Dane. How's that? There's no cause for trouble. Get in the boat. I thought I'd forgot you killed my brother. The ropes. Okay, so we've given him a little bit. And the door is unlocked. So now we can kind of exit this area. So we have this guy, this guy, this guy. So the guy in the wife beater here. This is him, right? Why won't it let me? No. Let me do this guy. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he's in the wife beater on the left at the top picture. Okay. So he's the guy whose brother is dead by the ropes. I need to figure that out too. Okay. So we got that body. We have this body's the one that led us downstairs to that whole sequence of bodies. And we can't actually get past here except for in time. Right? Why wouldn't it? Okay. I had to hold it down. Alright, there we go. This is the guy. Listen. Okay. So he's here. He's top hat guy. He said belay spark. And he's over there. So I think this is the gunner. I think the top hat guy is gunner. And this guy is gunner's mate. What do you think? I think he was crushed by Beast. We could also put by Cannon, but... So sometimes there are multiple answers that work. I say he was crushed by the Beast. So this guy's the gunner, and this guy's the gunner's mate. Because the gunner was the one that's going to have the top hat. Okay. So... who is this? This person's face appears blurred throughout the book. Blurring indicates that you don't have sufficient information to determine their identity. Their fate may be known and can be entered now. Trying to name them while their face is blurred would be unproductive. Carry on and pay attention. Faces become unblurred when the information necessary to identify them has been revealed in some way. Okay. Alright. Alright. Sure. So he is crushed by a beast. Others were present. Crushed by beast. So who was present? This guy, who we haven't identified yet, but somehow it thinks we should be able to. Top hat guy. I think the top hat guy is... You don't have sufficient information. Please explain. Try anyway. Wait. The tattoos might be this guy's thing, right? So where would he be from, right? Unknown steward, maybe. Unknown topman, Persia. It could be Persian, maybe. India, Sierra Leone. See, I'm not getting anything. Maybe the Persian guy. Just judging by the tattoos, right? He's got to be like foreign, someplace exotic. Okay, so far that's what we know. We should be able to tell other guys though. Why can't we? I was thinking maybe by their accent, but apparently not. So here's the door. It's giving us some information. Disappearances. 7 wayward souls disappeared during the events of this chapter. Their fates are cataloged here. This guy, he ran away, right? Because he got alive, but it doesn't tell us where. Oh, or does it? Or does it? This guy, it seems to think we should be able to identify him too. And this guy's one of the guys from China. New Guinea. New Guinea might be the Maba. Maba, New Guinea. That makes more sense for this tattoo guy. Yeah? Well, way more than, like, Persia or India. Okay. Good luck. Well, thank you. Alright. Disappearances. So this guy ran away, but we don't know exactly where they were going. Okay. So this guy... We get to watch it again, I think. Part 4 of 8. Okay. You'll watch the end? Okay, yeah. There wasn't really any identifying screams here. So this guy crushed by loose cannon, shot by loose cannon. So this is the gunner. Okay, so we know what happened here. So this guy that's underneath, he accidentally lit the fuse, right? And it shot the other guy. So Top Hat guy died by being shot by the cannon. See, he's like literally right here in front of it. So this means... No. No, no, no. No, 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 not yet. Not yet. Where is this guy? Where's the top hat guy? Here, this guy. He wasn't crushed by a loose cannon. He was shot by a cannon. I managed to get the checkout screen finalized in 404, and the bots had finished buying them all up. Yeah, that happens to me a lot with like stuff like that because the websites, you know, just can't handle that kind of volume. Blasted with a cannon by, hold on, gunner's mate from Poland. And this guy, okay, please, I don't want to please explain. I want to try anyway. Because I think this is the gunner. Where'd he go? I just passed it. And this guy... The Doom Part 4 shows our memories on a deck map. Also shot by cannon. The fuse. Yeah, so he's I don't think he was Gunner's mate though. See. So these two guys are kind of together, but they both got shot by the beast. This guy... He loaded a cannon. Frustrating. Frustrating, frustrating. And then here's our exit. So we should have enough information to identify these guys, but we don't. Exactly. Have enough information. Here's a galley, some sort of kitchen, or mess, or something. You know what else? Oh, look, it's a boat. Alright, so we're looking in the rooms. We're gonna see what's in here. Bathroom, maybe. Locked. Interesting. Alright. Let's look through all the rooms here to see if we can find something. Another room. With somebody's belongings in it. Oh, another body. Alright, cool.
Oh no! You're cut!
Och, no, you're cut.
Don't leave me.
Bear up, son. I'll stay with you.
Scottish guy.
Pete's mother, I tried my best
Aye.
to pull him back, to save him.
You tell her yourself. Brennan! Bring the surgeon's kit!
Brennan? Okay, so this guy. This guy, and he's yelling to Brennan. Brennan is... him? Brennan. Brennan's the closest guy. This guy's Scottish. And this guy is here. said he tried to pull him back. He's the guy who got... No, he didn't get clubbed to death. Pete's mother, though. Right? So who's Pete? For the love of Pete. Oh no, dead bodies. Okay, 2 more. All right. Okay. It's taking me to the book. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is where they were trying to get on the life raft, remember? Who is this and how did he die? We don't quite know yet. He's been stabbed. Knifed. Unknown attacker. Och. No. You're cut. Don't leave me. Bear up, son. I'll stay with you. Tell Pete's mother I tried my best to pull him back to save him. You tell it yourself. Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit. Okay. So, see, you'd think that would be his name, but no, it's not. Okay. So, our first mate was here, right? Also knifed by the captain. Who is Pete's mom? There's 3 others. This guy. So we don't have enough information. See, I was thinking we had enough information to identify that guy. Maybe we do. Maybe we heard this guy's name. And it's... Brennan? I didn't see Brennan on the list. This might be Brennan. This unknown soul. Who's Brennan? And is Brennan the surgeon? Brennan might be a last name. I've been looking at first names, but it might be a last name too. Henry Brennan, Seaman, England. Well done! I did it! That was Brennan. This is, of course, the artist. And this is Maba. Okay, perfect. It was the tattoos. The tattoos gave it away. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at some of these here. So there's this, and it tells us that going this way, over here to the captain's mess, or just the crew mess, I guess. Here, where this dead body was, and then a dead body materializes, so now we can activate. All right, so let's activate this guy. Something about the ropes.
What's all this, you damn fool?
Whoa! That was fast. So he has a gun, but he was clubbed by... Brennan? And he shot this guy with the little conductor's hat. So he probably shot that guy with the conductor's hat. Wait, there's a trail of blood that leaves off this direction. This guy's headed downstairs. To here. And this guy is... okay, there. He's trying to get back into his room. This guy's got a knife in his back. Okay. So that guy he's stabbed in the back. All right. Okay, so now we know why he was stabbed. Remember, because he said, "Oh, I'm bleeding out" or whatever. It's because he was stabbed in the back by possibly other guy. Let's go forward a little bit. We don't have enough information to identify these guys just yet. What's this, you damn fool? So he was clubbed by Brennan? That's what it looked like, right? Henry Brennan. I think. And the other people present were clubbed. Right? This is Brennan, who also knifed that other guy. We're pretty certain. We're very certain because it's in print. This guy knifed unknown, and this guy was the captain, or the first mate. Because he's down there too. Okay. Unknown soul was clubbed by captain. So who is this guy? He keeps showing up. Okay. There's another body. Gotta find it. Or is it this one? It's this one. Okay. So he comes up and clubs this guy because he assumes he's been shot by our other guy, right? Okay. So if we go in here and we take a look at this. So we find out what happened. So he stumbled upon this body.
Captain cannot be trusted.
You have a plan?
Yes. Take ship and sail east. Trade treasured fish and shells for gold.
Hey, who's there?
Mutiny! Mutiny!
Fresh bastard.
No!
Whoa, shut his face off. Okay, who's this guy? Tricorn hat guy. Shot the face off the guy with the conductor's cap. Okay, so this guy had an accent of some kind, but I couldn't quite decide what it was. This guy's been stabbed in the back and is now dead. Didn't quite make it to his room yet. He's still getting there. The blood is coming from over here, so this is... These guys are coming down there to see what the commotion's about. Okay. He's got a club, so he comes down there and clubs the guy. Okay. So Brennan clubbed that guy for shooting the other guy. So this guy died by being shot with a gun by an unknown attacker. This guy was knifed in the back by an unknown attacker. We still don't have enough data to get their identities. Once we have identities, maybe I can, like, start filling them in, right? We still don't know exactly why our guy was stabbed in the back. Body upstairs? Yes, up here. Oh, we have a guy hanging off the edge here. All right. This is like, it gets deeper. Okay. We go upstairs, we find the body. It's hanging over the edge. Okay. It materializes, and we keep double clicking it accidentally. Okay. So let's take a look at what happened to this guy.
Let them go!
Is that Abigail? No, that's the woman dancing with Abigail. This guy gets shot in the chest by that woman. This guy is coming upstairs to help. And this guy's already dead. And okay. So these guys are coming up here to help, but then they turn around and head back down because of the mutiny. This guy, he's gonna shoot, but she shoots first. Okay, this is super complicated because I don't know any of their names. Okay, so this guy was shot with a gun by unknown attacker. Female of some kind. Okay. Still don't quite, but a lot of people, 11 people were present. Shotgun unknown, clubbed by the captain. This woman and this woman, we should know their names, but we don't. Show memories on deck map. Depicted in underway sketch. Abigail. Oh, that's right. These two women were present at the beginning. So if she's... See, it says 3 triangles. It's going to be difficult to establish, but apparently we should be able to pick her name. This is a deduction rating. A higher rating means it will be more difficult to deduce this person's identity. Focus on the easily deduced identities first and leave the more difficult ones for later. Okay. Well, fine. But Henry Brennan, clubbed by Brennan. Okay, let's get out of here. And now that we're back up here, it tells us there's another dead body, which of course is this guy, who was already dead at the beginning of our last scene. So let's go back up one more. Okay. Spark up there. Okay, so this little spirit here is going to lead us back to this body. Maybe. Come on. Yeah, you can do it. It's like literally right here. Okay, so we got to figure out how this guy died in a pool of blood, so...
one. Move quick.
You'll not take the last one.
Paul, look out. Okay. Paul. His name is Paul. Okay. That's all we know about him. This guy stabbed him because he was taking the last boat, and this guy is... who exactly? Ah, okay. This is Paul's sister. Right? And that guy... and this girl. So we had something to do with Paul earlier. This guy getting ready down here. And then these two guys. Okay, so these two guys are on their way, right? And then they had to turn back around and go back downstairs because of all the commotion going on downstairs. So there's a lot happening here. So let's take a look at this guy. His name is Paul. Okay, his face is clear because we should know. His name is Paul, and he's got a sister. So, or wife, but maybe they have the same last name. Peter Milroy Midshipman. That's a Peter. And that's it. That's the only Peter on the ship. Okay. So, if Paul, his name was Paul, not Peter. What was I thinking? Paul Moss. Right? And he was stabbed. Killed sword. By this guy. Right? Paul Moss. Now, we have other people right? So let's go take a look at the very beginning at the pictures of life at sea. Okay. This woman is also Moss. Maybe. Probably just a passenger. No. Not also a Moss. Because if it was Peter Moss, she would be a Moss if she was sister or something similar, or wife, right? Okay. So we know who he is. Let's go to the next body, which is actually all the way down there. In the galley. So who's this guy? Okay. We actually have to follow the spirit. I think if I get too far, it doesn't actually travel. I'm not watching it. Okay. So he died here in the galley. Whoop, stop it.
Put me down. Let go.
Easy now. You're in a bad way.
It's the squid. Where is my Frenchman?
The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart.
Dad. The beast is dead. How
Frenchman's gone.
did you kill it?
We didn't. It left with the storm. Captain came up from the hold.
Okay, so this is
Said he
after...
chased it off. You should rest.
This is after the beast attacked.
Curse like that does not live for nothing.
This guy's like German, Austrian. So this guy is our gunner. Right? Okay, so this guy with the funky little hat, he's our gunner. But his mate is dead. And this guy got his face blown off just a minute ago. Okay. Okay, because they came from over here. Uh-oh, there's a whole other deck down there. And he's the one who got stabbed in the back, but he's not stabbed in the back yet. And this guy is our captain. Okay. All right. Okay. So this guy in particular is our gunner. I should take it off the other guy because it's not the other. It's not that guy. Let me see if... Can I even pick him? Because I think I've... Yeah. That's Christian Wolf. And he was crushed by a beast. Okay. And his mate, the Frenchman, should be identifiable now. Maybe. In the Doom. Abigail, crushed by terrible beast. This guy, blasted by the explosion. Don't know. This unknown soul was crushed by a loose cannon. What happened here? The fuse. Blasted by a cannon by the gunner's mate. These two guys were both blasted by the cannon by the gunner's mate. Okay. And this guy, crushed by a terrible piece. We'll wait further clues. So we can't actually identify him yet. Okay, so we've made some good deductions, but we just don't quite have 3 just yet. Wait, who's this guy? Oh, this is first mate. So this is the first mate's room. Okay. And it opened the door, so we can get back to real time. The escape. So 4 people escaped, 5 people are dead. Disappearances. So the 2 women, I should know what happened to them, but I don't. I should know who they are, but I don't. But they're 3 triangles, which means they're probably very difficult to identify. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. not what I meant to do. Let's get out of here. Okay, so apparently the squid attacked, and then these people all decided to escape. But now we can go into the first mate's quarters. Take a look around, see if there's anything interesting. Was it gonna let me use my stopwatch in here? On a leg? There's a leg hanging outside.
On your toes.
Chinese.
Slack the lifts and lower the boats. The whole crew will be on us.
Give it up!
Oof. So this guy was shot by this guy over this girl. These people are trying to escape as well, right? They're trying to get out of here. So those Chinese people are being taken? Right? Who's this guy? Who are you? I don't know who you are. So they're loading up lifeboats here, and they're trying to get out. No. This guy looks... Okay, interesting. So they're organizing some sort of evacuation. And... murder. Right? Over a scale. Outside the first mate's window. So there's a leg out there. On your toes, boy. So this guy was shot with a gun by an unknown attacker. On your toes, boys. How could you do this? Load her up and push off. Let me go. Give her here, will ya? Captain. Slack the lifts. Lower the boats. The whole crew will be on us. Give up. So, the Chinese people here, girl and guy, this guy, which I can't identify, this guy, which I can't identify. This guy who I should be able to identify, but I haven't. This guy who exploded earlier, but also I haven't. The guy who exploded. I tried to pull him back. I tried to pull him back. What was the memory for that? Where's the captain? I want my husband. Okay, so bargain I don't have yet because that's the very last one, but... You thought I forgot you killed my brother. What, that was an accident. The ropes. It wasn't his fault. I saw the whole thing. Lies. I shouldn't have waited so long. What happened here? Loose cannon. Who was the guy who said I tried to pull him back? Because there was a memory, right? That said something about I tried to pull him back. It was an accident. The ropes. Tell Peter's wife something. Right? Was a memory for that. I thought it was after this. Throw the powder. Loose cannon, find your footing. Before that, the fuse. So it would have happened chronologically after all that. Escape. Here it is. Put me down. Let me go. Where's my Frenchman? Last one. Move quick. Paul, look out. Stop, let them go. Damn. Enough. The captain can't be trusted. Tell Pete's mother I tried my best to pull him back and to save him. So if Pete's mother, that's Pete's mother. Because back on last one quick, Paul and Pete. So Pete was the guy who exploded. And this is Pete's mother. So we need to go to the Doom and find the guy who was exploded. Right? This is Pete. This is Peter. His name is, it's got to be Peter. Not Samuel Peters, but Peter something. Nathan Peters, Samuel Peters, brothers. Peter Milroy. Yeah, Peter Milroy. Okay, so if that was Peter Milroy, then the woman at the end of Escape is going to be also a Milroy. But she wouldn't be like Topman or anything, right? She'd be a cook or just a passenger. Maybe not. But we did find the brothers. We did find the brothers. So we have Samuel Peters, and then we also have Nathan Peters. Samuel Peters and Nathan Peters. So one of these guys said you killed my... In last one, move quick. Oi, you'll take the boat. Paul, look out. Stop. Let them go. Oh. Damn, not that one. Where's my Frenchman? So... No. It was before this. It was before this. I'm gonna get to Harley Street here in just a second. Here it is. Martin. Where's the captain? Have you lost your mind? Okay, no, that's... This is the Doom, right? We want... Before that? After that? Your NPC bucks aren't working? No, they're working. I see them. I see them. It says zinc reminder, elderberry reminder, and give treat. I see them all. I said I'd get to it in just a second. I kind of wanted to kind of find that guy, but I guess now's as good a time as any. All right. All right. Then, I guess in that case, we give dog treat. And I should probably wrap up the stream? Question mark? Because we need to get out and go around the block, do the thing the dog really likes. I got like 6 hours of sleep last night, so I need to get to bed a little earlier. But because I got a big day tomorrow. But I gotta give dog treat, so we'll give her a pumpkin shape right now. A pumpkin? See it? See a little pumpkin? And give you a pumpkin treat. Perfect. And then I have one more treat for her after this, but I gotta take the elderberries, and somebody's been stealing my elderberries. Basically empty. And then I gotta get my stupid zinc pills, which I have tons of. Okay. So, I will stop recording that game. I'm going to switch over to my camera scene since I'm here. We will start recording my review of Obra Dinn. We're going to pull up my sheet rating, and then we'll find somebody to raid. More than likely, it's Aki and Peach. Aki's like the only one on like every single night after I'm done. I don't know how that guy does it, man. He manages a job and a family, and he, streams 3-4 hours a night every night. I think really it's more that consistent schedule. He works a standard 9 to 5, regular 9 to 5 job, and then, comes home and spends from like 5, 6, something like that, to about, 7, 8 with his family. He gives that 2 hours, has that dinner time, whatever, and then is able to like focus on his games and his streams and stuff like that. So that's probably what the case is. But before we get to Aki and his stream, I'm going to record a review for Obra Dinn. Okay. This is my review of Return of the Obra Dinn on Nintendo Switch. The game sucked me in a lot better than I thought it would. Like, you look at the graphics and you think, oh my gosh, it's so weird and grainy. But honestly, after like being in the game for more than 60 seconds, you barely even notice. Like, it's just cool. It's got a very pleasing aesthetic. And when you watch it move. It's smooth. It's it's a pretty high frame rate just because it's so low, but there's so much going on the screen and there's so much to do. It really sucks you in with all the detective work. It really keeps your brain going. I'm really enjoying going through and labeling all the people, but basically, you're an insurance investigator and you show up on a ship to decide who are these people and how did they die. You find corpses along the ship, on the ship, and you investigate the corpse, and you have a little time machine that takes you back to the moment of their death, and it plays like a little audio clip, and it shows like a freeze frame of the instant of their death, and you get to kind of like walk around and investigate and decide who this person is, what their relationship is to somebody else, and if they're dead or not. And well, they're all dead, but how they died, who killed them, and who they are. And it's actually pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's very good, in fact. So if I'm going to give it ratings, let's give it graphics wise. It's really tough to give this such a high rating. I want to give it something really high, but I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to take some points off because of the monochrome, but that's part of its visual appeal. It's part of its visual style, but you can tell that it's actually rendered really well. And despite being only 2 colors and being very strange, people have faces, unique faces. They're everybody's unique. Everybody looks different. You can tell who they are, despite the appearance of the low resolution. So I really love that. Gameplay, this is getting a 10 just for being unique. It's not your standard detective story where, you know, you go along, you pick up an item, you investigate it, it has a clue, you talk to somebody and you're given like 4 multiple choice answers, and each one of those leads you to a different clue, and then, you know, it's not that kind of thing. It's so open-ended. You actually have to use your brain and decide, who is this guy, what is this guy, and what's his relationship here. And you'll hear lines of dialogue like, you killed my brother, and you're like, okay, so this guy has a brother, which means that he's got the same last name. So then you find those 2 guys and you're like, okay, he's one of these 2 guys. Then later on you have to find the guy who died, and you're like, okay, so this is the brother who died, so then this must be the other one, right? So you have to go back and rename it. It's just, it's so good. Audio wise, there's not a lot to the thing, but there is good music. It's pretty decent little sea shanty kind of music, and there's voice acting. Excellent voice acting throughout. So I'm going to go ahead and give the audio a 9. Story wise, also, gosh, maybe even a 10. Maybe even a 10. I mean, like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised with this game. Like, I'm giving it a 10 for story because the story is super intriguing. I get in there, and before I knew it, an hour and a half had gone by. What was that even? So I'm really looking forward to getting back into this. This is a game that it's not terribly entertaining to stream, so it was very difficult for me to kind of keep the audience engaged, keep talking. But it's definitely a game you could sit by yourself and play. Especially in like handheld mode, if you're in a car for a long time, or you're in a airport, or, you know, you're just kind of waiting for something, you can pull this out, but you will get sucked in. So it's not a game you can pick up and play for 20 minutes. It's a game you're going to want to play for 2 or 3 hours at a time. So that gives the average of Obra Dinn 9.25, which 9.5, I round down to a 9, I think, at that level. It's not quite a 10 game, but it's pretty darn close. It's a pretty good game, and I highly recommend it. You can get it in Nintendo eShop. I believe it's $15. Sometimes goes on sale for $9.99. That's when I would pick it up. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Let's go ahead and stop that recording. Perfect. So now that we've got the recording out of the way, we've gotten our review out of the way, we can start the raid process on Aki and Peach. Aki's super cool guy. He's playing Destiny right now. He's starting a charity event called Unite the Light tomorrow morning. It's a compassion for Haiti, I think, is what they're raising funds for at the moment. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and give Harley one last treat. I have it here. It's a bat treat, bat shape. There you go. All right, I gotta wrinkle the bag though. Get in here, get in bed, so that she knows she has to hear the bag sound, because she doesn't realize that I actually got 2 treats earlier. Oh my gosh, and you're not even seeing it. You guys weren't even seeing her get that treat. Okay, there she is. She's a good dog. You're a very good dog. She got that treat, and that's gonna do it. I'm gonna get back to this, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Return of the Obra Dinn was today. Tomorrow is the S day for Shantae and the 7 Sirens. I have all the Shantae games, but this one has the most S's in it. So it's the most S of the Shantae games. So I will definitely be doing that. Tomorrow is Friday, and then Saturday is Spooky Saturday. We're going to be doing True Fear. Yes, True Fear is what it's called. Okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow.